Hey, Active Minds families, Mr. Mike here, bringing you Engineering Week. As many of you know, I was a science teacher in Baltimore County for well over a decade. Anytime we can take an opportunity to show kids the exciting and fun part of science, we try to, because unfortunately the curriculum does not always allow that. And so what we hope to accomplish this week is to show kids what a career in engineering could look like. In this moment, we as a society continue to push the limits of what is possible through science and engineering. From the advent of the personal computer with Apple in the 1980s, through the proliferation of high-speed internet in the 1990s, to cell phones in the 2000s, particularly the BlackBerry, the iPhone in '08. The past 10 years, Tesla has been innovating electrified vehicles. All the way to this moment we're sitting in, where artificial intelligence is basically the frontier that we're looking to conquer. This week is all about experiencing engineering on the front lines and exploring how students can forge a career path and help mold and shape the future. Our first stop on this adventure into engineering takes us to one of the best engineering programs in the country at The Ohio State University. Students will tour the entire Buckeye facility. We've partnered with the College of Engineering so that way our students will have a private tour of their research laboratories, where students will be able to engage with professors and their cutting-edge research. From mechanical to computer engineering to artificial intelligence, students will explore how OSU is leading innovation at this state-of-the-art research facility. Students will even get hands-on experience inside some of the labs. Later that evening, students will explore the Center for Science and Industry, which highlights where science, engineering, and innovation meet progression. Students will explore how innovation has shaped our culture over the past 126 years. In particular, there's a really cool exhibit that they can see and be a part of. It's kind of an experience where they walk through a small town in 1898 called Progression. It's a real town. And it's interesting because it's at the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. However, it's just before electricity, just before the horseless carriage. And they can walk through this town, the main street. And then they walk through a second period or second section, which is in 1950. And they can physically see the changes, how science and innovation changed over that period of time. And it challenges you to think about, what is it going to look like in 2050? How is science going to push us forward? What's going to be there that currently isn't? It's going to be really an amazing experience. Welcome to Detroit, Michigan, Motor City. One of the companies that's driving innovation is Ford Motor Company. Their push to develop and design state-of-the-art electric vehicles over the past 5 years is really second to none. Students will tour the factory line floor of Ford Motor Company. This is the F-150 Lightning facility, and they're going to explore how engineering, robotics, and automation are changing the future of manufacturing in this country. In the afternoon, students will take a tour of the University of Michigan, go Wolverines, even though I'm a Terp, and in particular, the School of Engineering. Now, this facility is a little bit different than OSU because this is where university science meets industry, because their facility was made in conjunction with, you guessed it, Ford Motor Company. So that way Ford has access to professors and technology to help design and engineer their electrified vehicles. Students will explore this entire facility, including the Ford section. Leg 3 keeps us in Detroit, Michigan. We will tour the Henry Museum. This facility was designed by Henry Ford, and its focus is on design, innovation, and engineering, which was one of his passions, thus the Model T. Now, this museum is probably one of the most interesting museums in the world. The things that they have there are just unbelievable. He spent a tremendous amount of money to preserve them for the people of Detroit. One example is he has the Wright Brothers bicycle shop. Now, you might ask, well, how he has that in Detroit, because it was in Ohio. Well, he paid to have it completely dismantled, brick by brick and then rebuilt inside the museum to preserve it and to keep it for the citizens of Detroit. So we will see the Wright Brothers Bicycle Shop, where they designed powered manned flight over 100 years ago. We'll see Thomas Edison's laboratory, where he harnessed electricity, again, removed brick by brick and rebuilt at this museum. It's really amazing. After lunch, we will tour Universal Robotics and explore how engineers are pushing the boundaries of mechanical engineering. Now, we learned from Ford how automation and robotics are changing manufacturing, so we understand how important this is. Students will interact with engineers inside the lab and actually get hands-on experience in robotics. Leg 4 of this adventure in engineering takes us to Cleveland, Ohio, where we will take a tour of the NASA Glenn Research Facility, and students will have the opportunity to explore how engineers are designing the next generation spacecraft called Artemis. This is an initiative by NASA to send both a woman and person of color to the moon. Students will hear directly from NASA researchers and engineers working at the research facility. This afternoon, students will take a tour of the Cleveland Cliffs manufacturing facility. Cleveland Cliffs is a steel manufacturer, and students will meet engineers who are designing innovative methods to manufacture stronger steel. This is incredibly important in, say, car manufacturing to be safer. Students will see firsthand what careers in engineering look like by this industry leader. Leg 5 has us returning to Baltimore and the conclusion of our week-long immersion into engineering. It's our hope that we've inspired some future engineers during this adventure and that they go on to shape the future of humanity. We've created this for you, and we hope that you enjoy.